Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetstudio.com, and today we are going to do the quick review of the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact. We have the device with us. As you can see, Sony Xperia Z1 Compact is the smaller version of Z1 which we have seen earlier, and this device, in terms of the overall form factor and the kind of overall feel it will give you when you hold this device in one hand, is pretty good, because unlike the Z1, which is pretty big to hold in one hand, a 5-inch display, this device has a 4.3-inch display and has all the same specifications which you might have seen on Z1. So in terms of the overall hardware configuration, this device is top notch, and it can easily compete with the high-end devices like Z1 and other devices where you have Snapdragon 800 chipset. So this device also have Snapdragon 800 chipset with 2.3 GHz quad-core processor, and it comes from Qualcomm. We are going to tell you more about this phone, and again we have only the phone as of now. We won't be able to show you the package content, but the package content is no way different. You will have the regular package content which you might have seen with Z1 and in Z1 Compact as well. Within the package you get the phone, a charging cable, headphones, and user manuals and other stuff. There is nothing else extra or exceptional which comes within the package of Z1 or Z1 Compact. So here we have the Z1 Compact, which is the smaller version of Z1, but in terms of hardware specification it is no way inferior. Basically, in terms of the overall weight, this device is around 137 gram, which actually makes this device pretty light in weight, so you can easily hold this device in one hand. And because of the 4.3-inch display, you can easily hold it in one hand without any issues. You can again use this phone with one hand without any problem, because this phone has a pretty good size as far as display is concerned. And I would say, especially for those who would like a powerful phone with the latest hardware configuration which is available in the market, and again they don't want the phone display to be that big, you can always go for this phone, which is pretty good, I would say. As far as the display size is concerned, the display size is 4.3-inch, and it is having a high definition display, whereas we have seen a full high definition display on Z1, whereas on this one we have 720p display. It gives you a resolution of 720x1280, a pixel density of 342 pixels per inch. When it comes to the display is triluminous display, which we have seen earlier, with X Reality engine, and again the display is pretty good, although it is not very great in terms of the brightness. Let me just increase the brightness of the device to full. So this is how it looks like at full brightness. Again, not too bright, I would say, but in terms of the viewing angles are pretty good on this device. Without any issues, you can see this display from extreme angles. As far as the ports and connectivity is concerned, let me just take you through them. So at the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack, and over here you have a flap which actually covers the micro USB port for data syncing and charging, and you have a micro SD card slot as well on this device to expand the storage of the device. And again, I'm not sure whether you can install applications on the SD card as well or not. We will just tell you about that once we check the settings. And here we have the 20 megapixel camera, the same camera which we have seen on the Z1. We have the same camera on this one as well. It is a G sensor, and again in terms of megapixel it is 20.7 megapixels. You have an LED flash as well. You do have NFC as well on this device. However, it may look like that you can actually remove the back cover of this device, but again the back cover is non-removable, so it is a unibody device. Again, maybe not a unibody device, but a single body in which you cannot remove the battery out of the device. At the bottom you have the speaker mesh which holds the loudspeaker and the mic, and over here we have a lanyard connection. You have a dedicated camera shutter key as well on this device. You have the volume rocker, which is quite small but again gives you good amount of feedback. Over here you have the power and sleep key, which looks pretty good. It is a metallic button, gives you good amount of feedback. And again on this side we can see there is a slot over here for the dock, so you can actually mount this device on a dock. And over here we have the slot for the SIM card, which will accept a micro SIM, not a normal size SIM card. So these are all the connectivity and ports. As far as the overall features is concerned, when it comes to certification, it does have IP58 certification, on this device, which actually makes it dust proof and water resistant. Over 1 meter up to 30 minutes it is water resistant, so you can use the Z1 compact as well inside water, just like the Z1 which we have seen earlier. As far as the micro SD card slot is concerned, it will support micro SD card up to 64 GB maximum. As far as internal storage is there, internal storage is around 16 GB on this device. And if we take a look over the front side has the metallic earpiece which is behind this glass, and you do have an LED notification light as well, which is over here only. You have a front camera. The front camera on the device is 2 megapixel, can record high definition video at 1080p, whereas the rear camera can also record high definition video at 1080p, and it can also record slow motion video as well. It does have HDR mode, and you do have electronic image stabilization in video as well as in photos. When it comes to the hardware, we have 2.2 GHz carry at 400 cores quad core CPU, and the Adreno 320 GPU is there on 330 GPU is there on this device for the graphics. You do have accelerometer, gyro sensor, proximity and compass sensor as well on this device. Taking a look over the overall UI, the UI which is running on this device is again the Sony UI, which is quite fluid on this device. There is no lag of any kind which I can notice. And again, let me just go to the settings. This is how the notification center will look like. You have all the toggles. There are 2 rows of toggles which you can have on this device, and again you cannot actually vertically or you cannot actually horizontally scroll them. Once you go into the settings, let me first of all show you the version of Android running on this device. So it is running Android 4.3, and that is the version of Android which it will come preloaded. It is upgradable up to 4.4 KitKat as well, and it will come very soon on this device as Sony has promised that. And again, when it comes to the storage, you have around 11.79 GB available to the user, and as of now around 7.32 GB is available because we have installed certain applications, pictures and games is also there on this device. You do have support for SD card as well on this device, but again, installing applications on the SD card may not be possible on this phone because this device by default does not allow you to do that. Basically, to install applications on the SD card, it is not supported by default on the device. As far as RAM is concerned, the RAM on the device is again 2 GB, just like the Z1 and again the Z1 compact has the same hardware specification, so you have same amount of RAM as well. And when it comes to the RAM scenario, as of now around 741 MB of RAM is being used, whereas you get around 0.94 GB of RAM free, which is pretty good. You do have a power management application as well on this device, which will again help you get much more power and battery backup on this device. You can enable the stamina mode, which disable the background data for different things, and you have a low battery mode, location based Wi-Fi you can have. So you have different power saving options and modes with which you can actually save much more power on this device. When it comes to display brightness, you do have support for automatic brightness as well on this device, and you do have glove mode supported. So the display is quite sensitive to the finger touch, just like which we have seen on Xperia Z Ultra, Z1 Compact as well. So this device is also pretty good in terms of the overall display touch sensitivity, which is much better on this device. You do have location services as well. That means you can use this device for GPS navigation without any issues, and again, it will work on the basis of assisted GPS. When it comes to other settings for the phone, let me just show you the other settings. You do have call settings, and again, this is a single SIM phone, so you won't be able to use 2 SIM card on this device, but you do have support for internet sharing as well on this device. You can create a portable Wi-Fi hotspot, and you do have NFC also, which is there, which will allow you to do the data exchange with the other phones by just tapping on the devices. And you can also connect the NFC speakers as well with this phone in case you would like to. So NFC will work on this device with several other devices which are there in the market. Now here we have the system information for the device. As you can see, the model number of the device is D5503, and we have ARM V7 processor clocked at approximately 2.2 GHz, which we have on this device. Quad core CPU it is, architecture 7, so it is based on ARM V7 architecture. When it comes to display resolution, the display resolution is not full 720p resolution because the touch capacitor buttons which are there on the phone are not within the body of the phone, but they are within the display, so they will take some part of the screen resolution. That means the effective resolution will not be 720 into 1280, but it will be 720 into 1184. and you do have Adreno 330 GPU, which is pretty powerful GPU, especially when it comes to gaming. And when it comes to sensors, you have pretty good number of sensors on this device, including linear acceleration, orientation sensor, basic sensors, basic gesture sensor, orientation sensor, linear acceleration, rotation, and other sensors which are required in this device. You do have some gravity sensor as well on this device, so it will, and you do have a pedometer sensor as well. So all these sensors are there on the device, which will again give you a large amount of functionality when it comes to the day-to-day usage of this device. As the camera on this device is the same which we have seen on Z1, so it should give you a pretty good clarity when it comes to photos. Let me just take this photo as of now, and we are taking this photo in a room with some artificial light. The camera shutter is pretty quick, I would say, and when it comes to the photo quality, this is how the photo will look like. It looks pretty good, I would say, in terms of the overall colors, and in terms of details it is pretty good as well. And you can compare this one with the actual object over there, which is exactly or very close to the object how it is actually captured in this one. So the photo quality on this device is pretty good, especially when it comes to low light, and when it comes to daylight it is pretty good as well. When it comes to front camera, this is how the front camera will record, and you can do a good pretty quality of high definition video chat from the front camera, which is definitely a good option. And again, you might notice slight amount of grains in the front camera when it comes to video feed on the video chat and other application, but again it is pretty good. But again, it is a fixed focus camera at the front, not an autofocus camera. And let me just show you the settings. You do have resolution which is supported up to 8 megapixel. You can take it up to 20 megapixel. The photo which we just took was the 8 megapixel photo, but you can actually take much higher megapixel photos on this device. You have self timer, smile shutter, and again you do have the option of accessing the other things as well. For the quick launch, you can specify the key. You can use the volume key as well to take the photo. That is also possible. And let me just show you the video settings. So you can toggle to the video mode over here, and once you go into the video settings over here, you can record high definition video at 1920 into 1080. So you have a 110p video you can record. You can record the video at 720p as well, that you can do. You have self timer supported, smile shutter is also there, HDR video you can record. That means a pretty good video you can record from this device with pretty good amount of colors and other details as well. So in terms of the overall camera interface, it does give you a large number of options, and then you have some additional options when it comes to some lenses or some kind of additional effects which you can apply. You can take the photos in the superior auto mode in case you have any problem in specifying what camera settings should be there, especially for different kind of modes or environment in which you are shooting. You have social live mode in which you can actually share the photos once you take it. You do have some animated augmented reality modes, the AR effect as well, in which for example, if you tap on the screen, you will see some kind of animations happening. So that is something which is going to happen on this device, especially when it comes to enabling these modes. So let me just take a photo and show you the same. So once you have taken the photo and you have applied this mode, you can actually have this kind of an effect in which you can select what objects which you'd like to see, especially while taking a photo. So you can do that. Again, it is not working as of now, maybe there is a problem. So for the best results, okay, so make sure you point the camera on a flat surface. That is why it is not actually doing this. So maybe it is not able to detect the subject over there. So as of now, these modes are actually not working. Maybe we will take a look later on. And let me show you some other options of the camera as well. And first of all, let me go to the normal superior auto mode. So this is how the superior auto mode, and the kind of photos which you get in this mode are going to be pretty good, especially in case of low light. You can actually take much better photos with this particular mode enabled. When it comes to the other camera photo quality, we will show you some camera samples as well at the end of this video. You can see that, and we are going to do a separate camera review for this device as well, in which you can actually take a look. So I have just taken the photo again, and this is a 20.7 megapixel photo, which looks pretty good in terms of the details, as you can see, and in terms of the colors as well. It looks fairly good, I would say, and kind of natural compared to the actual object which is over there. Now as far as the overall quality of the display when it comes to color reproduction is there, the color reproduction or the colors on this display are not so that much vibrant as we have seen on some of the AMOLED display and some other displays as well. As far as the display technology of this phone is concerned, it has an IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen display, which is pretty good, but again it is not too bright and it is not too great in terms of the overall color production. That is something I can say. And again, when it comes to playing games, you can play almost any game on this device, including Blood and Glory, which we have played on this device. We have played Frontline Commando D-Day, we have played other Frontline Commando as well. And again, when it comes to multi-touch, let me just show you this response. So this device has around 10-point multi-touch. As you can see right now, it is detecting only 9, but it has 10-point multi-touch. The Ninamark score which we have got on this device is 59.5 FPS, and again it can run any kind of graphic intensive game on this device. So you can play any game on this device provided you have storage for that, because you may not be able to install applications on the SD card without rooting the phone. When it comes to LED notification light as well, it will light up whenever you are charging the device, and it will also light up for notifications like missed call alerts, for messages and other things as well. Now, as you can see, we are playing a YouTube video from our channel, and again this video is getting played in high definition, I guess. So it is playing in high definition, and as far as the overall viewing angles are concerned, the viewing angles are pretty good on this device. You can see the screen from extreme angles without any issues, so viewing angle is not an issue. When it comes to the overall loudness of the sound, so the overall loudness of the sound which comes out from the loudspeaker on the device is pretty loud, and it does not get blocked whenever you place the device like this on a table, because it is actually on the edges, but you might accidentally cover it at times. But again, the sound will keep coming. It will not get blocked completely. That is something I can say. And again, when it comes to the overall experience, you can watch high definition videos on this device without any issues. So in terms of the video playback, it can play high definition videos, but again the videos will not get played in full screen resolution at times, because you will see these touch capacitive buttons, but you can always hide them. As you can see, they will automatically get hidden at times, especially while you are using YouTube video or the video player on this device, which is the pre-installed application. On Antutu, this device has scored pretty good, I would say, in terms of the overall benchmark scores. It is between LG G2 and Samsung Galaxy S4, and it has scored a score of 28581, which is a pretty good score. Let me just show you the detailed score as well. Here we have the detailed score for the UX, CPU, RAM, GPU, and input and output operations. And if we take a look over the scores, now if we take a look over the device info, this is the device info which we have on the device. So now we are playing a medium graphic intensive game. However, this device can actually run any kind of graphic intensive game. But one problem which I have noticed on this device is that the gaming experience is not full screen. So you may accidentally tap over here and it will take you back to the home screen while playing a game. But again, in terms of the overall performance, this device is really good. There is no issue with gaming. Again, this is a pretty small device to hold in one hand or even in two hands, so you will not face any issues while gaming on this device, and it is going to be pretty good. However, at times you might feel that the screen is not too big for these high definition games, but again, the overall performance and the fluidness of playing any game on this device makes it pretty good for gaming. The overall battery backup on the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact was pretty good. It is more than 1 day most of the time for us. I have been using this device for like more than 2 to 3 weeks now, and this phone has given me almost more than 1 day of battery backup most of the times. So in terms of battery department, this is pretty good. In all, we would like to give a thumbs up to the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact. This is a pretty compact phone with a pretty good hardware configuration, and with this kind of form factor, this is one of the most powerful phone in with this display size. That is something I can say as of now in the market. As far as camera is concerned, the camera performance is decent, not too great. The display is something which does not basically interest us much more, but again the display is okay. It can be used especially in sunlight environment as well, but again you might need to increase the brightness in that case to read it properly, but still it is visible. That is something I can say. So in all, going all the points or compiling all the points together, I can say that this is a pretty good phone. However, this is going to be pretty costly as well if you plan to buy it, but this is one of the most compact 4.3-inch phone with this kind of hardware configuration and with this kind of build quality, and it is also water resistant and you can say water resistant as well as to an extent dust proof as well. So in all, we would like to give a thumbs up to let us know if you have any specific question for this device. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you. One more thing I would like to say is that this device, especially with the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact, comes in varied colors. We have the lemon color with us as of now, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty colorful as well, and the kind of color profile which you have on the device is not only visible from the back side, but it is also visible on the edges. However, the front display or the bezel will always remain black irrespective of whatever color you choose for this phone.